Hi and welcome to the upgrade project of my Hamer Vector XT guitar. This is a flying V. I aim to do a bunch of modifications on this guitar. Basically, I want to give Gloria a bit of a bling look. I want to put gold hardware. Now this guitar is made in Indonesia. It came with a bunch of Korean made parts, such as a Tunomatic bridge also. It's got slightly cheap hardware going on here. The neck and everything is perfectly fine. The wood is great, it resonates really well, it plays really well. Everything is perfect. Just some hardware is a bit cheap. So this is the first part of the series where I'll be changing the tuners or slash machine heads. Now as you can see, these are vintage Kluson-style traditional tuners. These come on a lot of Gibson Les Pauls as well as SGs and things like that. These tuners are a bit old. They're not keeping in tune very well. So I wanted to upgrade them. As an upgrade, I've bought the Wilkinson WJ-44 tuners. I especially ordered them from the UK because we don't get those things in India. I checked the specs online and they seem to be the closest fit to these traditional ones. So I'll be changing those out. A bit of a background about this guitar. I bought this used about 6 years ago from somebody and I got it for a really good deal. And it plays well, everything is great, you know, the pickups are nice, they're Duncan designed, and I love the feel. I just love that I can play it even in a classical way, you know, it's great. But there are some weak points, it has its weak points. So in this video, this is the first part of the series where I'm talking only about changing the tuning machines. I'll show you how it is done, and I will show you a simpler and very effective way to remove the bushings from your headstock holes. Basically, these tuners are easy to remove. You can take a Phillips head screwdriver and take out these. But there is a round bit of metal which goes into your headstock hole that keeps your tuner in position. I wanted to change that also because I've got gold ones. And to remove the bushing is quite a complex task. Or so I thought, until I found some ways where you can do it with just a bolt and a nut and some pieces of wood. So I'll tell you a lot more about it on the other side of this video. You've got to unscrew the tuners first. Keep these tuners very safely. In case something goes wrong, you can always put these back. Always use the right tools for the job. Like you need a Phillips head screwdriver so that you don't strip away any of these little screws which are quite hard to find. These are the bushings that are quite complex to take out. You can see there's nothing protruding from this side, so you can't even push it out using your fingers. This exactly is the problem that baffles a lot of people. Telling you a bit about the tools that you would need for this particular project. You need 3 pieces of wood, first of all. The thickness of this wood piece is less than a centimeter. I have not measured it, I just got it from the local wood shop. They had scraps lying around and I just chose 2 slightly longer ones and one which was a bit of a rectangle. The main thing that you need is a bolt that fits into the headstock of your guitar, as well as a nut that goes with it. Okay, I think you can see it in the video. Now here's how I found the right nut and bolt. I had a bushing already. Basically one of the tuners had gone bad many years ago and I just bought one replacement tuner. So I got a bushing which was the same size with it. What I did is I took this bushing to the store and I asked for a bolt that would just about fit the back of it. That would just about cover the back of it. You see? I hope that's in focus, guys. The logic behind this is to choose a bolt that can pull out your bushing. See this way, the bushing just goes like that, correct? Like that, with the narrower end on the bottom side. So you need a bolt that will fit and in at the bottom and pull it out gradually like this from the headstock. Alright? I'll show you how to remove one of these bushings. Now these are factory installed tuner bushings that have been pressed tight. This is how the guitar came originally. Make a hole in the center of one of the wood pieces. The hole should be just enough for the bolt to pass through and lock onto the wood piece from behind. This main wood piece will come on top here. One more tip is to use felt on the other two wood pieces to prevent damage to the finish on your headstock. These two felt covered wood pieces act as anchor points. So you keep the felt covered pieces below, place the wood with the hole on top and remove the bushing using the bolt. Basically, okay, let's move these things away. You put the bolt from underneath. So now, you have the bolt in. I also use a screwdriver because this bolt has like it's got a flat head. So I'm going to be using this screwdriver here just to secure it, okay, just so that it stays there. And now I take this piece of wood, goes right on top here. The two anchor pieces with felt will go right under the main wood piece which has the hole. Now use the nut, which is a match for your bolt, and loosely tighten it. The screwdriver helps to hold the bolt in place so that it doesn't rotate inside the wood as you tighten the nut. Now you have to tighten the nut. The anchor wood pieces create a gap between the headstock and our main wood piece. This gap helps the bushing of ferrule to rise with the bolt and come out cleanly. I can already see it's halfway out. I can see it from here. Do it slowly and easily, yeah. There's no hurry, take your time. See that the bushing, I can see it. Yeah, there you go. It's out here. There comes out the bushing, alright. So and the best part about it is that the bushing is right here. It doesn't get lost anywhere. It's come straight out of the hole. There's no chips, there's nothing. It's a perfectly removed bushing. I'll take this out and show it to you. This is the nut. This is the wood piece. And here's the bushing. So you have to use the same method to remove the rest of the Kluson tuner bushings. So I have removed the earlier bushings and put in the new ones. These are the Wilkinson WJ-44 ones. Now it's been a couple of days since I removed the bushings, and that's because I ran into a problem while using these bushings, the new bushings for the new tuners. The old bushings were about 8.5 mm or 8.2 mm. However, the Wilkinson tuner bushings are 9 mm in diameter. So the tuner holes needed to be made bigger by a small margin. Now to make the tuner holes bigger, I tried a round file, but it didn't do a perfect job. So I abandoned the round file idea. Instead of using a file and mucking up the tuner hole, I ordered this tool. It's called an adjustable reamer. It's got sharp blades at this end. This tool is specially used to create perfect holes in all kinds of materials like metal, wood, plastic, etc. etc. This is an industrial tool. It's usually not available everywhere. I ordered this specially from a trader in Bombay because where I live, nobody had even heard of or seen a reamer. Forget about having one for sale. So the reamer took more than a week to arrive by post, so I had to pause this video till I received it. Now if you see this reamer, this is the reamer part and this is a T-handle. So these two are separate parts. Before using the adjustable reamer on the guitar, I used a scrap piece of wood to measure the perfect diameter. Using a Wilkinson bushing and the scrap wood, I got the perfect diameter where the bushing could be pressed snugly into the wood without it moving or budging. The bushing has to be tight basically. That was how I got the right measurement on the reamer, for the bushing. And all it did was just take away bits of, scrape out a bit of wood from all the holes. You can see I have a tuner installed already. So after reaming the holes, I just press fitted these bushings using my thumb. They went in, there was a bit of resistance and there needs to be some resistance. Okay, it shouldn't just drop in and be loose inside the headstock hole. And some of them just stuck out very little on top. So I placed a cloth on it and just sort of hit it with a plastic screwdriver to just lodge them in. So now they are seated perfectly, and I'll begin installing the tuners. So a reamer is an extremely important tool if you're enlarging holes in a guitar, without which your holes could go haywire. And I was never comfortable putting an electric drill here because it's just overkill for the small amount of wood that needs to be taken out. So installing the new tuners is pretty simple. You drop 3 tuners on each side. So some of these are for the right side and 3 of these are for the left side. So what I do is I just match the text so that it reads the right way. It says Wilkinson Deluxe over here. So I just match it so that it reads the right way, and then I know that which tuner comes on which side. So yeah, that's that. Once you've got the tuners in, I can see that these holes are, I can use the original holes. I do not need to drill any new holes. So that's an extremely positive point. I'm really happy about that. Yeah, and to fit these tuners, all you have to do is put the screws in, 2 screws in each tuner. And and all you need, the tool that you need is a Phillips head screwdriver. There's really not much to it. It's an easy install now. The reaming was the slightly complicated part, and I wanted to share it with you guys. I hope this will help you. So if you're looking to replace your traditional Kluson tuners with these WJ-44 by Wilkinson, I can tell you that this has fit very well on my guitar. So there you have it, guys. The tuners are all fitted and they look really nice. They're sturdy. That's how they look, and the gold is really looking beautiful against the black headstock. So that was a demo of the new tuners on my Hammer Vector. The main thing I look for when upgrading parts on any of my guitars is that I want the new parts to fit in exactly the same places as the old ones. So I'm not a huge fan of drilling new holes and cutting pieces of wood out, routing it out and things like that. So I usually end up buying parts that are a perfect fit for what's already on my guitar. To do this with minimum hassle, I measured all existing parts exactly and to the last millimeter and compared them with specs of the new parts. I then bought the parts that were the closest fit for my guitar. One of the beautiful things about these Wilkinson WJ-44 tuners is that these were almost identical to the stock tuners that came with this import guitar. And the best part is I did not have to drill additional screw holes for the back to fit the tuners in. So that was one of them. I was really happy with it. Only thing is that the bushings were slightly larger, so I had to ream out a little bit of wood, and which I could have done that also with a round file. But since I wanted a perfect finish, I bought a reamer and waited for it to arrive. Now it's been many months since I changed the tuners on this guitar to the Wilkinson WJ-44s, so I can confidently tell you that they have been keeping the guitar in tune perfectly well. Plus they're really sturdy and gorgeous to look at. Hope this video helps you replace your guitar tuners. Please hit the like button or share a comment below if you have any questions. I'm always happy to reply to each one of you all. So thanks a lot for watching and have a lovely day, guys. Bye.